it's Vandiazzo back again with another card fight Vanguard deck profile. So if you guys enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. And let's get this one started. Today, we have the Dimension Police Reveal 4V collection, Dai Kaiser, the long-awaited card of almost every DP player, because I'm pretty sure this is the reason why a lot of people started playing DP, especially with Kenji Mitsusada. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we got an interesting grade 3. In all honesty, this is actually the reason why I played Dimension Police back in the day, or not back in the day. I did not start playing Vanguard until G, or like kind of at the end of Stride Gate, like 3 episodes before the end of Stride Gate. That's when I started playing Vanguard. But Dai Kaiser was the reason why I picked up the deck, and so was Kenji. So let's go ahead and get this one started. First up, we have our starter, which is Dimensional Robo Goyusha. 6k base, 10k shield, grade 0 with boost. Auto when it's wrote upon, draw cards, then if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 1 or greater, you get a quick shield ticket. I was about to say by pure instinct, you have to go second for this, which most of the time is the case. But if you're playing against my friend who, logically, if they have the perfect hand and they don't want to get rid of anything, they will not G-assist, or if they want to prove a point, they will not G-assist, which is the worst part about this. So it's still good. You know, you're getting that draw guaranteed, unlike in D, where you can't get that draw unless you go second, and then you get that quick shield ticket. So I like this starter, and it's also the best one for Dimensional Robo, since everything in this deck except for one card is a Dimensional Robo. You may be asking, what is that one card? It's this, Diamond Ace, or Diamond Eyes. Why did it autocorrect to Diamond Eyes? What the fuck thing? Oh, no, that's not important. Draw trigger, 5k power, grade 0 boost Sentinel. Continuous Sentinel, you may only have up to 4 in the set. You may only have 4 Continuous Sentinel in the deck. Auto guard when placed. Discard a card from hand, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit till into battle. So standard null, nothing too important about it. I want the draw trigger over like other things just because I want to refill my hand constantly. Maybe get more Daikaisers, maybe get more Kaisers, who I've never called to rear guard in my life. But still, I like Diamond Ace. He gets you that draw, and you know you have PG fodder. You have grade 3s for days in this deck. Criticals wise, or other triggers wise, we run 8 crits in the form of Dimensional Robo Die Battles and Dimensional Robo Die Racer. And Dimensional Robo Go Rescue is our heal. Yes, if it wasn't already clear, this deck is a Dimensional Robo build, and the only card not being a Dimensional Robo is quote-unquote Diamond Eyes over here, and everything else in here is a Dimensional Robo. Whether you agree with this build or not, I prefer this. Also, a note about the heal trigger. Once more, I will say it again, and I will say it every time I get to this until I have to not say it anymore. I do not like the Heal Guardians. If you want to put a Heal Guardian in here, be my guest. In fact, this is a deck that I would encourage it in. But me personally, I don't like the Heal Guardians. It hinders my plays, and I'd rather not have it. If you want to put it in, so be it. Onto the grade 1s. We have 3 copies of Dimensional Robo Daikaiser. 8k base, 10k shield, grade 0 with grade 1 with boost. I don't know how to talk today. Auto rear when your Vanguard's attack hits a Vanguard. Put it to soul, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and retire it. Okay, all the Vanguard has to do is hit, and you get a kill out of it, which is really nice. You're getting a soul charge out of it too, so for the cards in here that require Soul Blast, which is a grand total of 2 cards, this helps out them. And, you know, getting that free retire is always nice, and the only downside is your Vanguard has to hit. But, you know, in this deck, you get a lot of extra drive checks, you get some extra crits, so either they're taking it, or they're possibly throwing out a Sentinel and getting screwed over by Dai Kaiser. Either way, Tiger's really good in this deck. 3 copies. Next up, we have Dimensional Robo Go Biker. 8k base, 10k shield, grade 1 with boost. Auto rear when placed from hand. Rest this unit and choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 10 for the turn. If your Vanguard's a grade 3, stand it. I wish this was not a once per turn. Or to be more exact, I wish this was like when you ride, rest this, give something plus 10. Then if the unit chosen was a grade 3, then restand it. But either way, it's still good. I guess this form is better than that one, because that one would be a bit too good, especially with fucking Super Dimensional Robo Greato Dayusha, because standing during the battle phase and giving plus 10 to Van during battle phase along with this other plus 10 definitely isn't broken, plus a 4 skipped. So either way, I like Go Beaker. He's nice. He helps you hit the power numbers which you need for Dai Kaiser's effect to go off, and just other effects in general. So Go Beaker, really good. 4 copies. Next up, we have our new grade 1 in Dimensional Robo Die Prop. 8k base, 10k shield, grade 1 with boost. Auto, when it's placed on Van, reveal a normal unit from your hand and put it to bottom. Draw a card, and then if a grade 3 was put for the cost, draw a card. So you get a draw regardless of what you put to the bottom, but then you know you're getting an extra draw. Only downside is it has to be placed on Van, which does suck, but I like that. It's really good. You can recycle some normal units back to your deck that you might not need, and you get a guaranteed draw and possible 2 draw out of it. So, nice ability. But then the other ability, Act Rear, once per turn, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets +5 for each force marker on your Vanguard circle. So, another really nice buff to the Vanguard, more power to it. You don't always have to stack the force gifts on the Vanguard, despite the fact Dai Kaiser and Daikaiser are the 2 cards that force units on force markers on Van, but I still like this. Die Prop's amazing. 4 of. Next up, we're on to grade 2s. 3 copies of Dimensional Robo Die Dumper, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with Intercept. Continues Van, all of your grade 3 units get +10k shield. Auto rear, when it attacks, you may have this unit get +10 for the battle. If you do, retire this unit at the end of the battle. Okay, so your grade 3s kind of get the 10k shield. I don't run it for that at all. If that was the reason I run it, that would be very sad. I don't run this for that one particular reason. But, I like that shield ability, I just never use it. But then also, that swing for 10k is the reason why I run it in the first place. So I really like it. It's a nice card, 3 of. Next up, we have Die Dragon, 4 copies, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with Intercept. Act Van or Rear once per turn, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets +5 for the turn. Continues Rear Guard, if your Vanguard is a 35k or greater in power, it gets +10. So that works during both players' turns. So if you somehow get it up to 35 during your opponent's turn, this is a 20k base, which is really nice to have, and it can plus during your turn. And it only costs a Soul Blast, which only this and 1 grade 3 count for Soul Blast, and then 2 cards sub themselves to Soul. So I say it's a good card. So 4 copies. Next up, we have Dimensional Robo Kaiser, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with Intercept. Although, when it's ruled upon by a grade 3, discard a card from hand, get a force gift, put that marker on Van. Continues Rear during your turn. If your Vanguard has a force marker on it, gets +10, and if there are 3 or more, it gets +10 again. So, pretty much, it gets +10 regardless, because if you use this thing's first ability, you're getting a force marker out of it, and you're probably going to get a force marker out of just riding, and then, if this is on Rear, it's a +20, because all you have to do is ride again during the next turn, and then that's just a 30k base, which is really nice to have. I like the ability to get an extra force marker. My only thing against this, it's just my only thing, and don't get me wrong, Daikaiser's really great. It's just that the 2 new cards that put force markers on Van, I feel like they just stole that from Master Poets. I feel like they took Daikaiser's old skill, revamped it a bit, took a form of Dayusha. I'm pretty sure they stole it directly from Dayusha, took a skill from Dayusha, shoved it onto Dai Kaiser, and then finally, they took Kaiser's and Daikaiser's other last abilities, and then they just took an old thing from Astro Poets, or just a thing in general from Astro Poets, and shoved him onto this. I'm fine with it either way, I'm just saying. So 4 copies of Kaiser, because he's good. Our grade 3s consist of 2 Super Dimensional Robo Daisaurus, 13k base, grade 3 Twin Drive Force Gift, continuous Van, during your turn, it gets +5 for each card in your damage zone. I have a slight grudge against this card, but that was just for me being stupid, to where I was playing against my friend during the first day that this came out, and we were using Premium, so we weren't using this deck. But I had Daisaurus in hand, and I didn't know what he had in hand. I know he had 1 PG, and I was thinking, do I stride with this as the cost? Because I top decked into it when I had nothing else in my hand. So it's either I stride with this into Geomaglass and hope that that 2 of my 4 last grade 3s were in the top 7 so I could kill him, or I just ride Daisaurus and overpower him, because I wasn't for sure if he did actually have a PG in hand, but I assumed he had a PG in hand, and I just decided maybe run this instead, because Geomaglass wouldn't be able to hit over if he didn't have a PG, and I didn't want to risk it, so run into this thing, he PGs it, and then at the end of the game, after I lose, we looked at what the top 7 would have been, and whoop-de-fucking-do, both of 2 of the 4 grade 3s were right there at the top, so I have slight hatred towards this thing, but that was more me being stupid than me not knowing what was going to happen. And then auto rear, at the end of the battle that attacked, if your Vanguard's power is 35k or greater, counterblast 1, show it to Soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and gets +10 in a drive. So really nice. So guaranteed your Vanguard's hitting for over 45 now, and it gets an extra drive out of it, so for triple drive. So I really like this. It's an amazing grade 3 to have. 3 of. Now we have Super Dimensional Robo Die Liner. Some people don't run this in their build. Some people do for the extra defense. I can see why on both ends. Actually, no, sorry. Some people don't run Either they run this or they run this, but they don't run both of them at the same time. I choose to run both of them at the same time. Super Dimensional Robo Dai Liner, 13k base, grade 3 Twin Drive Force Gift, continuous Van, all of your grade 3 units get plus 10k shield. So just Dai Dumper with with a different second skill. And then Act Van, once per turn, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, the only other card in this deck that's Soul Blast besides Dai Dragon. Look at top 7, reveal it to 1 normal unit from among them, put it to hand and shuffle your deck. If you reveal it at grade 3, this unit gets plus 20 in a crit. So you have 11 grade 3s in this. There's almost a guaranteed chance you're seeing a grade 3 from this. You most likely want to add Dai Kaiser, just plus 20 in a crit. Really good. It's a nice grade 3, and all your grade 3s get plus 10k shield. Some people, instead of running this and this together, they choose to run of the two, and then they run Blad Black / Super Dimensional Robo Great Daikaiser for like the extra ride during the battle phase, allowing for pressure, more attacks, and yada 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 while you have Daikaiser on board. And I can understand why, but my personal thing is like, I don't want to do that because I don't know why. Doing those two bother me a lot, and even with like Super Dimensional Robo Super Dimensional Robo Great Dayusha, for some reason just bothers me using him. I don't know what it is, but something about him bothers me, so I don't like using him. And then there's our main guy, the one that we're doing this deck profile for, and the one that it's named after, Super Dimensional Robo Dai Kaiser! Ow, my throat. I shouldn't have done that. I probably should have just played the anime clip and been fine with the copyright strike, but that probably wasn't worth it. Grade 3, Twin Drive, Force Gift, 13k base, Continuous Vanguard. If this unit's power is 35k or greater, gets a crit. That is... If you ride this from this and you put both force markers on Van, that's 35. You literally only need like Dai Dragon or this thing to get the plus 10, and then afterwards, Van is swinging for the amount that it needs for the extra crit, which is really nice that your opponent doesn't have to be a grade 3 for that to happen. Auto Van or front row rear, because it matters. At the end of the battle that your grade 3 was revealed for your drive check, if your opponent called a total of 1 sentinel to the guard circle for that battle, counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's vanguards and deal them damage. At the end of the turn, if it was on rear when you use this effect, put it to soul. And then auto, when it's rode upon, call it to front row rear guard circle and it gets a force gift on the vanguard. So... First off, that crit, like I said, really good. The second skill, the reason why it says front row rear guard is because you could just send, you don't need to boost the Vanguard. You could just put a copy in the back row, put 2 in the back row along with it, so your whole back row is just Daikaisers, and then 1 goes in the front row. Boom, if they place 1 sentinel, they're taking 4 fucking damage. Which is very scary, if you have the 4 counterblast, that is. But then, it's easy to get past because it only requires 1 sentinel. Thank you. They both nerfed and strengthened this thing's skill a lot to where you have to put down 2 sentinels, but you don't have to pay the cost for both of them, which is really nice. I like that skill. Forces the opponent to a corner, especially if they're at 4 damage or 5 damage and you're on a Daikaiser itself, which is really nice to have. And then that last skill with the Force Gift, I really like it, 3 gifts on Van. Awesome. 4 of. And then we have our gifts. We have 7 Force 1s, which can be acquired by putting it on Van or rear. And the unit on the circle gets plus 10, and it does stack. And you can put on the same circle multiple times. So, you probably want to pick Force 1. I can see why you would want to pick Force 2 just to, swoosh them down. But this deck doesn't really gain a lot of power that easily. This is more of the rush them down with crit skills. You hit the big numbers, and then you use the crit abilities. You don't do the opposite. That's how this deck works. I mean, say for example, if you did put your opponent into a bad situation early on, maybe they're at 4 or 5 damage before grade 3. Yeah, fucking do it. Force 2 of them. They'll eventually have to die, especially if you're on Dai Kaiser. But otherwise, I say go Force 1. That's my personal opinion on it. And then Force 2, if you don't know what it does, place it on Van or rear. It can be put in the same circle multiple times, but it doesn't stack. And the original critical of the unit on there becomes 2. That's why it can't stack, because the way it's worded. If it says it gets plus 1 crit, then it could be stacked. Either way, you need 7 of both just in case, because that's how tournaments work. We have our 1 quick shield, which is when one of your units is being attacked, it gets plus 5 for the battle. And that's it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I know my build is slightly different in terms of consistency to some extent, but also just in general what you would typically see from a Daikaiser build, or what you'll probably see when they come out for physical release. But I like this way of Daikaiser. He feels nice having him back. It does feel nice. I no longer have to just joke around in premium to use Daikaiser. I can now use him in V. And my friend is pretty happy too, because he also kind of semi-mains Dimension Police. And now we have more reasons to start playing the anime music on the channel, and more ways for me to get copyright strike. Why was I happy about this again? I don't remember. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, donate to the Patreon, follow the Discord, Yep. Join the Discord. I had it in my mind and I fucked it up. Join the Discord, follow the Twitch, go check out Thera, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to stand up your vanguards.